Since modern America, in my opinion, and this is simply my opinion, you can agree, disagree, modern America started in the late 1800s after the Civil War to the early 1900s. Lincoln began the creation of railroads which connected parts of the country. People no longer worked on farms anymore. Our economy became primarily a industrial economy. Rather than working on the farm, people worked in steel mills, they worked for railroad companies, they worked for oil companies. Since that time, we have always had corrupt individuals trying to control every facet of our lives, whether that is economically, politically, legislatively, in the media. We have always had those individuals, if you read history. Whether that is John D. Rockefeller, Jeff Bezos today, J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon, now the CEO of Goldman Sachs. These individuals care more about making profits, their bottom line, and controlling more of the market through vertical integration rather than the worker and the consumer. For those of you that don't know what vertical integration is, it's when you want to control every aspect of your industry. The manufacturing, the distribution, all to the final sell. Right now, Jeff Bezos is trying to control shipping. Amazon is beta testing drones. Instead of UPS having a piece of the pie, or other shipping companies like the U.S. Post Office, Amazon wants that. That's not unique. John D. Rockefeller bought some of the railroads in order to control the distribution process. As far as undercutting and screwing workers, Andrew Carnegie had a standoff when he was at his precious Scotland, his vacation. There was a standoff where his workers were on strike because he wanted to raise prices, make them work longer hours, and give them worse benefits. It all culminated into a massive struggle. You had people who were armed as well. What ended up happening was that you had to bring in the state militia. The manager, Henry Frick, was shot. He didn't die though. But in the end, the capitalist, Andrew Carnegie, ended up getting what he wanted. The only day they got off the entire year was Christmas. He cut their pay, he increased their hours, did not care about their working conditions. Now, do I hate Andrew Carnegie? Why would I waste my time and energy hating somebody who has been dead longer than I've been alive? What would be the purpose of that, right? Same thing with Jeff Bezos. I'm not a fan of him personally, but I'm not going to spend my entire life, energy, and being in hating him. What's the purpose of that? Say the government took all of Bill Gates' assets away. I'm just using him as an example. What would happen? Well, that money would go into the treasury and somebody else would pick up that market and do the exact same thing Bill Gates is doing. That's why it's important to attack the system itself instead of the placeholders, who are simply a manifestation of that system. You've had politicians, intelligence agencies through COINTELPRO, where they killed Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, through MK Ultra, all these things they've done. You've had corrupt presidents start wars, Woodrow Wilson, you had the corrupt press. But today, people are just wanting to defeat Trump. Now, whether you like him or not, that's your own prerogative. But if you read through history, there have been presidents who have done a lot worse things than Trump has done. Like put Japanese citizens in internment camps. Put people in prison for speaking out against the war. Abraham Lincoln and Woodrow Wilson through the Sedition Acts. As far as I know, and you could correct me, Trump has not put a person in prison for speaking bad of the administration. People are just focused on defeating him, but it's the ideas, it's the coalition. There are other facets of that. That's why when Obama was in office for 8 years, I didn't spend my everyday being hating him. He does not know I exist. What's the point of spending all that time and energy on someone who doesn't even know you exist? But what's the solution? I gave you the issue. It's not the people, it's the power structures. Focus on your communities. Each dollar you spend in your community is going to fluctuate through your community. Say you go out to eat, you go to a movie in your local community. Well, each dollar you spend is going to go to the waitress, going to go to the cook, to the dishwasher, going to go to the individual who cleans the movie theater, and it's going to circulate. But each dollar you spend outside of your community is going to go towards China or some other place. Mexico, wherever, Japan, Taiwan, wherever. That's why we have to start spending money locally and start paying attention locally to your taxes. Where is your tax money going? What's your property tax? What is all of the taxes you have to pay to your government? What are they doing with your tax money? Ours are building stupid projects like this stupid community center. Nobody voted on it besides the politicians. And they raise the taxes, the will tax, the property tax, the sewage tax, take it from us to build that. And to me, that's more important and more pertinent than Orange Man Bad or Jeff Bezos or whoever. But we have to focus locally rather than looking in Washington to solve our problems.